Top of the morning. So I'm probably gonna say some things that are they can be seen as out of pocket, but stick with me to understand what I'm really saying. Okay. So I'm reading from my journal from the other day. I don't really plan my journal sessions anymore just because when I try to do it, when I used to do it, I used to do it every day because I needed to do it. But then I got used to putting my thoughts on paper and kind of doing like a mental dump. So I didn't really need to do it as much because I was dumping what I needed to dump. But I've had to get back into it because I've kind of not lost track, but I've gone off course and more into like a just like go mode without any rest points. And I'm gonna talk about rest, nervous system recovery, right? But to read off of yesterday's journal, patience is the best thing for peace. Peace is the best thing for patience. Now, it might not make the most sense, but I wrote that when I was looking out. It was like sunset time, and I was hearing the birds chirping, and the weather was like perfect, like between that 68 to 72 degrees. It was good, and I was just thinking about how this right here, and I had just finished fasting, or I was about to close my fast. And I was thinking like, bro, this right here, this is everything. This is everything. This, my heart, I feel at peace. I feel good. I'm peaceful. I'm patient. Like, what am I rushing for? Because this is bliss right here. The birds chirping, the sun's out, the breeze, the air. You can like, oh, but you get so caught up in work, school, obligations, and things like that, that you lose your peace and you lose your patience. So patience is the best thing for peace because it complements it, and then peace is the best for patience. So they work together. But the question is, how do you maintain patience when things aren't peaceful, and how can you find peace if you're not patient? So the rest of it, no rush to get there. Take it all in. Take it all in. And right here, so with sports, you have to take it all in. You have to take the lessons in. But okay, right here I have BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, sex, business, life. I learned the soft skills from like football, right? There's certain lessons that you learn in football that I like to call soft transferables. But in all these different areas of life, BJJ, sex, business, life, you can take the soft transferables and implement them into each of those realms. So back to what I said before that, no rush to get there. Take it all in. There's no rush for me to get to black belt if I still get caught with someone getting their underhooks on me, right? Because I'm not framing properly, or I'm not, just little things. There's no rush to get to $1 million if I haven't fully gotten my systems in place for business. There's no rush for me to have a wife and 3 kids and a house if I'm still figuring out my triggers and my traumas and the things that I truly want out of life. There's no rush to get there. I have to take in the soft lessons so I understand that, hey, when I go through this rough patch in BJJ, okay, well, I might go through a rough patch in business as well. So I have to be patient so that I can find peace in the chaos of business. So then once I get a family, I can then find peace in the chaos of having a family. But then I can also have patience when I'm raising my kids, when I'm going through with my spouse, right? Now, sex. Okay, before I was Muslim, okay, yes, I committed some sins, yes. Sex, one of those same things. There's no rush to get to the finish. Take it all in. Now to go beyond that, so like I said, learn the soft transferables from these when I took things in without rushing to get there. So I learned the soft transferables from business to then sport, or from sport to business, right? From sex to life. You get what I'm saying? I take the soft transferable, and how can I implement this soft transferable, this skill that I learned, this realization that I learned, how can I implement it into the next realm? Now to move on, listen to the body for rest and what needs movement. What parts of your body need movement and what needs relaxation? So I had a surgery on my left ankle, right? And there's still what they call crepitus in the ankle. But I find myself bracing that left foot. So then the outside of my foot is tensed up. Then that tenses up my calf a little bit, which causes tension in the outer part of my knee, which then causes me to, shift a little bit, and it causes discomfort in my hip a little bit. But when I listen to my body and say, yo, relax your foot, then I feel my calf start to activate a little bit more. Then that takes pressure off of my knee. Then that takes pressure off of my hip, right? But then it's Ramadan. So it's Ramadan and I've been still training for jiu-jitsu, for my jiu-jitsu tournament. It's in a couple days. I've never listened to my body more than I have during this type of prep. It's because I'm in the welterweight division for this competition, okay? And I'm on the lower end of the welterweight division, like the weight division side, the weight side of the division. So, and I'm fasting. So I did a morning session, I think, on Sunday, and then I went to the gym later in the day before I broke my fast, and I weighed myself at the gym, and I was 3 pounds less than what I weighed like a week earlier, right? So I said, you know what? I'm going to fast. I'm going to, break my fast tonight, and I'm not going to train tomorrow. I'm going to break my fast, and I'm going to rest. I'm going to do movement stuff tomorrow, which was Monday. Today's Tuesday. So I didn't do anything yesterday besides movement, getting my nutrients, water, hydrate, and stuff like that. Now today I'm going to train in the evening, right? But usually before I would feel like, I'm taking a day off. I can't do that. I can't take this rest day. Bro, you need that rest day. And what's made me really have to sit back is knowing that, okay, you're not going to learn any new skill set for your first jiu-jitsu competition in a couple days. Like, me taking one day off isn't the end of the world. I need the recovery. Even if I just get, if I get those 3 pounds back on, now when I go into the match, I have a little bit extra weight. But if I go into the match and I'm borderline, about to cross back over into the weight division that's lower than welterweight, my energy is I'm gonna have even less energy. I'm gonna have less power, and I'm gonna be weaker and lighter than the people who are on the higher end. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Like, there's no need for me to push it that hard. And then you have injuries too. So if I'm coming in, I'm fasting, I've lost weight because I was, trying to train so much, and I give myself that time to get my nutrition back, my hydration and everything back. That's working against me. So I do get what I'm saying. Rest. What I'm saying is this period has taught me, bro, like, you need it. And I've always tried to think of rest as like, okay, active recovery. Yes, active recovery, like I did the mobility and stretching, but rest your mind, like, rest your heart from these things. Because I took a rest day physically yesterday doesn't mean that I'm weaker mentally. You get what I'm saying? And I think sometimes as athletes, you might think that, but that's not what it means. You're just being responsible. So you might actually be stronger mentally than the person who is thinking that I have to exert myself to the max every day to improve my mental resilience. When in all actuality, you having the intuition and the body connection and the disconnection to yourself to know, like, bro, I need to chill. It's okay if I chill because it's going to allow me to, I'm taking 2 steps back to take 10 steps forward. You know what I'm saying? Don't rush. I said it again. So listen to the body for rest. What needs movement and what needs relaxation? Don't rush. Even in stretching, right? Even in stretching, let's say you have one hamstring that's tighter than the other. Don't try to yank that hamstring back into a position to stretch it out. No. Where does it go? And then gently work that motion. Floss that muscle, that nerve. Floss it. And then, all of a sudden you do that for 3-5 days. Now you can go back further. Do the same thing there. Do the same thing. Now you can yank that hamstring back and hold that deep stretch. Don't rush. Take it all in. Feel where your body, okay, with that hamstring example. When you're pulling it back, what parts of your body are tensing up as you're stretching this muscle? You need to relax. Now breathe. That's an opportunity to relax and breathe. Okay, so don't rush. Work hard for the lessons, not the outcome. Surrender your mind. Calm, that's what I said. So as you can see when I journal, it's like just like do-do-dum, do-do-dum, do-do-dum. And then I'll go back and dissect it because I like to speak in caveman sometimes to myself when I'm trying to understand things. When people who are truly intellectual, and I'm saying, I'm not saying I'm, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is the smartest people that I know can take the most complex things and just dumb it down. I believe, don't misquote me, I don't even say it, I don't even say it. But someone very wise, a wise historical figure said, just because you're smart, okay, how do I say this? A wise historical figure has said, basically, if you cannot get the common people to understand something complex, then you really haven't understood it. Was that right? Understood it? You haven't really understood it. You haven't really learned it. You haven't really contemplated on it deep enough. You haven't dissected it deep enough to really consume it into it. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? I hope you guys get what I'm saying. So work hard for the lessons, not the outcome. Surrender your mind. Anyway, let's get back to what I was saying. What I'm saying here is work hard for the lesson. So work hard in business so you know where your gaps are, where your strengths are. So then that way you can start to bridge the two and you become more of a holistic unit, right? Now, same thing how I had the BJJ, sex, business, life, and take the soft transferables. When you work hard for the lessons in one thing and not the outcome, this is where you can extract the soft transferables. So work hard for the lessons, not the outcome. Work hard for the lessons, not the outcome. Work hard for the lessons and not the outcome. Think about this. Work hard for the lessons, not the outcome. I'm thinking about this in just my own personal life. Work hard for the lessons, not the outcome. Because, okay, for this jiu-jitsu tournament I'm getting ready for, in Ramadan, I know I'm going to be physically depleted, so if I put all my worth and like everything into winning out all these rounds, and I don't win out all these rounds, I'm basically forfeiting any lessons that I'll learn. But the fact is that I know this is my first competition. I'm going into a competition with people who have 6, 10 plus wins. I have no jiu-jitsu tournaments at all. I need to be taking the lesson, so I've been working hard for about, what has it been, like 3 months, maybe 2.5 months, really? About maybe 2.5, I don't know. I've been working hard to gain lessons in the training room without even having an outcome of going into practice and tapping people out. So the same thing when I go into this competition, I've been working hard to now have a base to where I can go into the competition, work a little bit of something, and get the lessons that I need to then fill any gaps in my jiu-jitsu game. Do I want to win? Do I plan to win? Yes, of course. But my worth isn't connected to the outcome of winning out the entire match. Do I want to win out the entire match for my division and every? Yes. But I'm more focused on the lessons because I understand that down the line, I'm going to need these lessons as white belt later on. So I'm not rushing the outcome. Okay. Moving on. Surrender your mind.